What is going on, DragonCon? Happy Sunday afternoon. I want this energy. This energy is going to have to stay forever, or at least until 3:30. After 3:30, I don't care what you guys do. My name is Jason Sohail Ascari. This is the Ninja Turtle panel, the fan panel. It's going to be fun stuff. We are going to be talking about the original cartoon, because this year is the 35th anniversary of the original cartoon. Yes! It is going to be fun stuff. For anyone who doesn't know about me, my wife and I, we run a YouTube channel called Lakposht Studio. We have recently done a podcast for the past 2 years where we are rewatching all 193 episodes of the original Ninja Turtle series. This is her first time ever seeing it, and this is like my billionth time seeing it. Yeah, we've been doing that. That podcast is called Turtle Recall. So, I don't know, write it down on your hand or something like that, or go look up Schwarzenegger and find out a movie that you can make a Ninja Turtle pun about. And that's what we did. So let's go ahead and get things started. I want to make sure, is everyone doing good over here? Awesome. So how many people here grew up watching Ninja Turtles? The first thing that they watched was actually the cartoon. Yeah, that's a majority of people. Do we actually have people who actually saw the comics before the cartoon? Okay, yeah, you guys are in the minority. I have a friend. I shouldn't even call him a friend. He's more of a coworker because I've never talked to him ever since then. But he was like, I didn't like it when the Ninja Turtles sold out and they got the different color headbands and they got a cartoon and they started eating pizza. I'm like, yeah, if that didn't happen, your thing would have been a cult classic, and it would have been now it would have been oh yeah, remember Ninja Turtles? Yeah, they'll be up there with Savage Dragon and I don't know, I'm trying to think of something else, some other comics during that time. So obviously if it wasn't for the cartoon, we would not have this wonderful franchise that we have now, which is going strong, which I will be talking about how strong it is still going, which is amazing. So, if you guys don't know, it originally started as a black and white comic. Why was it black and white? Because the two indie artists couldn't afford color in their printer. They literally didn't even print the original comic in the right printer paper for comics. They just they did it in newspaper, and the size of the first issue does not match with any other size than of comics. So it was just two guys. They want to make comics. They're like, hey, let's make something. What do we make it about? Hey, you know what the kids like? The kids they like Teen Titans. Okay. They also like mutants. They like X-Men. Okay. You know what? I like Daredevil. Let's add some Frank Miller in there too, and we just throw all that together. It's meant to be in one issue, one and done, and then they're like, hey, if we make $5 out of this, we're perfect. Obviously, they made more than that. They had to print it out and everything. Comics were, selling. People were like, oh yeah, I want to get this. It has a strange title, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What is this? Then a toy company come up and they're like, hey, kids, they like animals. They like animals that can walk and look like humans. Let's make toys out of these guys. And they're like, we like money. We will do this. So that is exactly what happened. They're like, they made a deal with Playmate Toys, and from there, they made this whole action figure line. The first thing Playmate Toys said was, hey, how can you tell these guys apart? And they're like, these are babies. Come on, can you not tell your own twins apart? And they said, no, we can't. These are not our babies. They're like, oh, well, they have different weapons. We can't sell 4 toys that have different weapons. No parent's going to do that. Let's add color. And so the toy company, they added color to the skin and to the headbands. And so the only thing for cartoon-wise, we only got the headbands because animators need to be... They need a nice relaxing job and make a ton of animation mistakes. So they gotta be like, nope, we just make all the turtles the same color, and they just have different headbands, and And that's how we got this. And so, you know, if you come to an Ninja Turtle panel, you know, first you have to be prepared to sing. And because we gotta look at the theme song, we gotta look at what started it all. Here we go. Spoilers, you're gonna hear that song like 3 other times. All right, so back in December 1987. Here's the deal. There's like no official actual date that this show actually started. Because since this was on syndication, syndication kind of like they get to play this like whenever they want, whenever they felt fit. So a lot of them is like at the beginning of December, a lot of them was at the end of December, and then there were some states that was like in 1988, and like so, you know, like they waited until like January or something like that. So there's no worldwide date because no one all saw the episodes at the same time because of how syndication works. But back in December of 1987, they started the show. Do you guys know how many episodes are in the first season?
5.
5. You want to know why? There's only 5. Because these 5 episodes were just there to sell these 10 action figures that they made up right there. And basically, the toy company was like, well, we just put a show with this. We sell some toys. We make $5. We call it a day. So like these 5 episodes, like there right now no network actually committed to the series. So they're like, okay, we just make like, you know, we had like a lot of these shows like do this during this time, like they call them like test pilots or something like that, but it was still like airing. But like, you know, it happened with X-Men, it happened with like it happened with Battletoads, shockingly. But like they just like made this, but this one they decided we have enough money to make 5 episodes, and so for a whole week they would like take over one of the kids' cartoons and put Ninja Turtles instead. So like, for a week there was like kids like who normally was watching He-Man, and all of a sudden like their muscle-bound gladiator guy got replaced by 4 muscle-bound like teenagers that really look like adults, but they're turtles. So yeah. And these 5 episodes came. I can tell you, the first episode I saw, I went in like episode 3 because I didn't even know the show was starting. It really depends on the syndicated network in your area of like, oh, we gotta advertise that we're gonna put this show or not. This 5 episodes came, and obviously it was a huge hit for both toy sales and for ratings, and therefore they ordered a 2nd season. And during this time, here we have in the late 80s, a season show to sell toys is that magic number 65. 65 means that you have 13 weeks to air 5 days a week after school. Ninja Turtles is not getting to 65. They only got 13. 13 just means that you get to be on Saturday morning. And you got to be once a week for the next 13 weeks. And well, now, there's some good news about 13. When you get 13, that usually means like a big network like ABC, CBS, NBC. There was no Fox during that time, so they're like, one of those could have picked it up and like, oh, you're made set. Nope, those networks were like, what? This title is a mouthful. Why would I put this and try to put this on my TV guide, listing? Like, no one's gonna know what this is. So none of them picked them up. It was still on syndication, and so we got most syndicated networks were airing it on Saturdays. I can tell you my syndicated network aired it on Sundays because they didn't want to compete with the big 3. So we got a 2nd season, 13 episodes, and here we have like the toy sales going really good. Just like, and it is like, now they're more figures like Ace Duck, but most of the time they make Krang. But we got some more like figures in there, and they're like, okay, And then finally, the syndicated networks were like, you know what? We do want this to be a after school each day, 5 days a week. So then they're like, oh, you're going to give us 65 episodes? No, we'll give you 47. So that way you have season 1 plus season 2 plus season 3 be 65, because no show is going to last more than 65 episodes. He-Man and Thundercats at that time were like the only ones that had like more than 65 episodes. And that's because they had a second season. Like, you're not He-Man or Thundercats now, are you? No, you're Ninja Turtles. You can't even spell Michelangelo's name right. That's something I want to talk about. Michelangelo, some art scholars like to call him Michelangelo, but then Kevin Eastman and Peter Layard, they just said, no, his name is now just Michelangelo, and you and everyone else from now on are just going to say Michelangelo and screw the Italian language completely. Because if you see here, the way they officially spelled his name is with that extra E or like that extra A in there, because that's not supposed to be in there. Because they literally spelled it Michael Angelo. And then when they're like, hey, you misspelled his name, and their answer was, that is how this turtle name is spelled. Because they're like, we're not gonna go. we're not gonna go in there. Look, this was also 1984. There was no such thing as spell check. I'm pretty sure they're like, who's gonna really check how to spell this name? Funny thing is that all the official merchandise during this time, his name has that extra A in it. However, in the episode titles themselves, he doesn't. The writers were like, oh no, we spell it correctly. We're writers. We got we got scholars in this, so we're not gonna make ourselves look dumb. And while all the action figures, the VHS tape with the episode title is misspelled while you go into the episode and it is spelled correctly. Go ahead.
Hey, how did they spell it in the 84 comic?
That's how they spelled it in the 84 comic. That's how So this is how his name got spelled. This was his official spelling until around 2001, 2003. By the 2003 show, they spelled it correctly. And Peter Layard was like, I don't want to look like an idiot anymore. Hold on. Let's fix this. But go look at all your older action figures. Go look at all of those. You'll see that they has that extra A on there. I actually took this picture of the card because I was like, let me find one of these, and it's just and we're not done talking about Mikey. We'll talk more about Mikey because I don't know. I think secretly the world just hates Michelangelo. But. Because the first thing I do want to talk about, so obviously this show's a hit now. America loves this show. You know what happens when America loves the show? Everyone else has to love the show too. And so it gets translated, and we got a it's now in other countries, including the UK. And I want you to spot the difference in this version of the theme song.
I know.
All right. First, I want to. We gotta rewind here. I want to get to this image right here, and okay, I want to talk about it. You know how you're watching network TV, and they're like, how do we make this PG or something like that? We got to put a logo over the naughty bits and everything. Yeah. Right here, they freaking put a logo right in front of his nunchucks. This is the most mind-boggling thing I ever saw. What? All right. So here's the deal. In the UK, the word ninja was a bad word. It was a violent word because ninjas come in. They come in they are assassins. I was gonna start making some other jokes, but I was like, no, this is probably not appropriate. But yeah, they didn't like the word ninja, so they changed it to hero because they're heroes. They're out saving people. The whole ninja thing was gone, and then someone had their weapons like edited, I mean, can you figure out which one was it? The nunchucks, yes. 2 sticks tied to a straight string. Too violent. We can't have that in kids' cartoons. So yeah, that was the one thing that this theme song did, was the theme song made sure that all the nunchucks were edited out of the theme song, and they had to actually edit out the nunchucks from the show. And then so when you start getting into season 3, season 4 of the show, you start seeing like Mikey will he has his nunchucks, but he's like not using them, and like when he does use them, he doesn't actually do anything with them. He just kind of like, hey, I got nunchucks, and then like, it's gone. Like, I was like, oh no, someone took one away. Or like, sometimes he'll like twirl them, but then but he twirls them at nothing. Like, I mean, it's like, these are things like my wife and I got to discover as like rewatching these episodes. Like, oh my gosh, like it's like these and then he gets like these strange weapons. Like until they finally officially made the turtle line, which is the grappling hook, his actual like new official weapon. Like he just starts getting like at one point there's like an episode where he looks like he's throwing a communicator at the bad guy. I mean, it's like, yeah! I'm like, shouldn't you go pick that up? What is this? But yeah, so that was how they had to do in the actual UK over here. Now, for everyone who's living in the UK, good news. By 2003, I guess ninjas finally they shook hands with the prime minister or something like that. They're like, hey, and you guys are not as bad as we thought you were. And you know what? Nunchucks, there are worse things that there's out there. And I'm gonna say this because everyone always asks me this thing. It's always, why nunchucks? Why someone has swords. Someone has these forks that can impale people. But why is nunchucks the bad rap? The reason why is because out of all those weapons, nunchucks are the ones that kids can imitate that can hurt themselves the most. So I mean, I used to do martial arts, and I actually made sure I would train on every single weapon that the Ninja Turtles can use, because I need to know how it was. And I can tell you this, I hated the nunchucks because you have to. I mean, it is the hardest one to learn. You have to learn the control and everything. I mean, I still remember my bruises all over my arms from just those things just hitting me. Just because when you lose control, you lose control, and so that's what happened with that's why nunchucks is gone. It's because if a kid gets a sword, at least he'll cut his friend's head. But but he ended up hits himself in the face with a nunchuck. Got to send him to the hospital, and the prime minister doesn't want to deal with those. All right, so we're here, 3 seasons, 65 episodes. The Turtles are now at their height of their popularity. By this time, the first movie came out in theaters. I mean, the toys are selling crazy. We got action figures of the Turtles spitting water. I mean, you can't get better than that. Then finally, Fred Wolf's studio, Fred Wolf Films. There you go. Got a knock on the door, and it's CBS. And CBS was like, "Hey, don't you want to be on a network now?" And Fred Wolf's like, I like money. But they still had a deal. They still had a contract with the syndication, because syndication's hey, we want money. We still want a show too. So it's 4th season's this awkward year, because we have 15 episodes made for the syndication market, and then you have 26 episodes made for CBS. And then during this whole mess, Europe is hey, we want to crack on this too. We want to make our own season. And so but theirs didn't really come out, I think, in the country a year or two later. It didn't come to America till season 7. But so CBS they have a season. We're in the height of Ninja Turtle popularity. We have a second movie coming out. So here is what this CBS intro looks like. You know how I mentioned the universe hates Michelangelo? I mean, it's like, oh, his line, he's a party dude. He gets shoved by foot soldiers and gets beat up, and we don't know what happens to him. Like, what is with this? Oh, he's a party dude. Oh, he was partying too much right in that moment right there. So we gotta take him down. Really, who was the director on this? It was Raph makes a silly face. Donatello has this crazy helicopter thing. Michelangelo gets beat up. But the other thing you've noticed that even though he has the nunchucks on the back of the shell, he doesn't actually bring them out at all. It's UK censors are like, oh, thank you. Obviously they don't have to make that much edits in there. Other than the fact is that still have to change the title of the show to Hero. I will say, speaking of partying and Michelangelo, about this time, there was a special that was that was made basically Barbara Bush had this whole Just Say No campaign.
Oh,
And the whole thing was oh, we gotta get the drugs off the streets. We gotta make sure the kids are they don't do drugs and that kind of stuff. So both Buenos Vista, Disney, and with the help with the American government and everything, they made a special. And I'm gonna say this: only one Ninja Turtles in there. I have a feeling what it is that when they made it, when they were in their planning stages, I think this was right as the hype for Ninja Turtles coming, and they're like, oh, we gotta add them in there, but they couldn't get all of them. They couldn't lock down all the voice actors, so they decided only to have Michelangelo. And I'm just gonna say this: if from all four of the turtles, if one of them's on drugs, that has to be Michelangelo. I mean, seriously, he eats jelly beans and sausage pizza. We call that munchies. But we did get we did get a special over here, and oh no, I forgot to put it. Oh gosh, I apologize. I actually recorded the song that he sung and everything, but I forgot to put it on the laptop. That's my fault. I did all that work and everything, and I forgot to put it in there. It was the special was called Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue. It combined before Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, this was our multiverse of madness. We had the Muppet Babies, we had DuckTales, we had Winnie the Pooh, we had Alf, we had Garfield, all teaming together to teach a teenage Jason Marsden not to do drugs. Which you're looking through it and it's I think the guy seeing all these cartoon posters and records coming to life, I think this is doing something already. I think they had to make sure the turtles were in there because, like I said, the turtles were in their height, and so that was the turtles at their height. So we're in CBS, but I will say after season 4. Ninja Turtles was only on CBS, and then when it was on CBS, it was pretty cool. CBS actually gave them 2 primetime specials, which was actually pretty cool. And instead of it being 30 minutes, it was actually for an hour. Go ahead.
What year are we in?
We are in 1990 right now. 1990. Yeah. Yes. So instead of Ninja Turtles having one episode, they actually aired 2 episodes. And then now here's the deal with network TV with the children's programming, they had to have some educational value in there of every hour to be be nice be nice to others, don't get in strangers' cars, that kind of stuff. The way that CBS combated this, because they didn't want to have Ninja Turtles turn to He-Man, where we have random oh hey, what we learned from this episode is that, like, you know, when a person with claws come in your face, go the other way. Like, you know, they didn't want to, instead of like doing that kind of stuff, they made these environmental tips they called turtle tips. And so just in between the episodes, they'd be like, oh, plant a tree, you know, cut your, whatever, the six-pack holder of your beer, or, not beer, but soda, but like, you know, but now it's on beer. And, you know, cut that, and, you know, don't turn on the air conditioner. I swear, that like the father's like, was like, hey, you know, we gotta have the PSA where we have the kids don't touch the thermostat. And like they made sure that was on there. And as a father, I know this is real. I'm gonna say this is real. Like my son and my wife, they're always like, oh no. I mean, you know, thank God, like all this is like on my phone. I'm like, oh, someone touched the thermostat. I have an alert right now. Like an unauthorized thermostat toucher. Hold on here. Let's put this back to normal. Make them sweat. 78 degrees. That's right. I'm kidding about that. I'm not a monster. But my wife will say I am. Alright, so while this is going on, I mean, unfortunately, this is like where the Ninja Turtles, like, you know, their height is kind of like waning at this point. They're like, it's, you know, we're in the mid-90s, like, you know, no one's liking like the goofiness anymore. And then like, we're starting to have like shows like Batman the Animated Series, X-Men. They're coming in and they're coming in with these like serious topics, like these. Like in like these more action-oriented things, and like all of a sudden, like the Turtles, like watch, like, you know, their ratings are like just going down, and they're like, you know, what do we do? And they're like, you know what? We changed the show. And so here's the deal. For the longest time, I never knew what the term "jumping the shark" ever meant, but I made a new term because whenever I say a show, the sky turns red, I mean, like, it basically means jumping the shark. Because, because like, Wilson, like, well, I don't know why, my two favorite shows, which was, like, Ninja Turtles and Batman, they changed their sky, and then their show was completely different. Like, so, this is what happened with, like, Ninja Turtles, and you can, like, definitely see from the theme song that the vibe has completely changed.
Yep, indeed. Between the film and the cartoon.
Right, yeah. So, like, I mean, you know, like, they're trying to get, like, they're just trying to get the kids back. They're like, hey, we're cool now, we're edgy now. And, like, but, like, still, like, breaking the fourth wall and everything. They're like, ha, 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 like, trying to, like, make some jokes. But then, like, you got, like, Shredder. Shredder gets, like, this complete change. And, I mean, I don't know if it's because the voice actor changed or, like, they're like, oh, we gotta make it more serious. We gotta make it, like, you know, the Turtles, like, feel a sense of danger now. And, like, the first episode, like, he's like, if you don't do this, I'm gonna blow up the Channel 6 building. And they're like, the Turtles like, no, you're not gonna do that. You've been that goofy Uncle Phil for, like, the past 7 years. Like, no way you're gonna do that. And then, like, Shredder, like, goes in there, crosses his hands. I don't bluff! And he blows up the Channel 6 building. And then, like, for the rest of the show, there's no more, like, news. Like, April, like, stops being a reporter, and then she's like, I'm a computer hacker. Like, you know, in the 90s. You gotta remember, this is the 90s. Like, you know, so there's only so much you can do. Like, I think they mentioned, like, there's an internet mention in there, like, it's been a while since I've seen it, but, like, you know, and then, like, all of a sudden, like, she's like, oh, I dated this guy. I'm like, wait, we're now going into April's, like, dating life? Like, what is this? Wow. Yeah, it was, like, so, she did change her outfit, and I did like her new outfit. I will say, I liked her new outfit better than that, because, like, it was like, oh, good, it's not all yellow. It's, like, you know, some, like, thing. Like, she looks like she's ready for the 90s, even though, at this point, the 90s is almost over. But yeah, they did this, it only lasted for 3 seasons, and each season was only 8 episodes, because that's how much CBS had faith in the show. And, like, I mean, also during this time, we also had, this is like when, like, the live action stuff was getting more popular, there was this small little show that was like coming into Ninja Turtles Thunder, which was called Power Rangers, and like they even like changed their villain, and they try to fool the kids and be like, oh, we have a new villain, guys. Shredder and Krang, they're gone, but guess what? We got a really cool villain. His name is Lord Drake. But wait, he say real fast. It sounds like that. They were just trying their hardest to just like kind of keep it in there, and not only did they change the identity of the show, but like, this was also like, not everything needs to last forever, and when the show ended, it was the longest running animated program at the time. But then, like 2 years later, like Simpsons was like, oh hey, and like if another animated program could even come close to the Simpsons, I would not want to be that animated program. I'm like, I'm just saying, like, I'm like, Simpsons are good. You're, I think you're older than me now. The show ended. Once the show ended, the people in charge of Ninja Turtles, they're like, oh hey, you know what? The kids like Power Rangers. They actually tried to do a live action Ninja Turtle show from the people who made Power Rangers, and it did not. Yeah, it didn't go that well. Next Mutation, for the longest time, like people were calling me, it was the Netflix series because it was on Netflix, but Netflix actually took it out. Like Netflix finally was like, man, this show's bad. For Netflix to be like, oh no, this show's too bad, we can't have it on our platform. That means it was bad. But yeah, that's pretty much everything with the actual cartoon series. Do you guys have any questions about it or anything?
At what point do you personally believe the show kind of started to go downhill? Like, what was the last really great episode in your opinion?
Oh gosh, I can't really think of the last great episode, but I will say around season 6 and season 7, this is even season 4, but season 4 was still in its popularity. But you start seeing some repeat plots, and it's and it really was okay, you've either changed hands too many times that you didn't have people know that you've done this before, or you ran out of stuff and you gotta just reuse the past cliches. And I think that's what kind of the first 4 years you have almost over 100 episodes. So when you start keep going in, you're gonna run into those trips. So I think it's around those seasons. Last Greatest Episode, I can't really think of one that I felt I was oh, this is it. I don't know. If I gotta think of one off the top of my head, maybe My Brother the Bad Guy, where we find out Shredder's brother was a cop for some reason. Yes.
How many episodes did you say? 192?
193.
193. Does that include the European train trap episodes?
That does include the European side season episodes. Those 13 episodes.
Yeah. Where'd you get your list from?
I got it from counting. Personally, when I did the podcast, and I was planning out all the episodes, because our podcast is going to be a total of 195 episodes, because we did 2 specials for 50 and 100, and I wanted to end on a 5 or a 10.
It's so hard to collate because they're so discombobulated.
Right. Now, technically, it might be 194 because I do count. I count what's it called? Planet of Turtleoids as one episode, not 2. And that is a 2-part episode, but I count it as one. So I could.
The original official list was supplied by me. TMNT.com.
Oh, it was. Oh, wow, thank you. So was I at least a little accurate?
Yeah, you got it. But I was wondering because when I was I don't know, 1997, something like that, I had a GeoCities website.
Way back now.
Yeah. I had an Angel Fire website back in the day.
Make me feel old now.
You have a complete list, so it's hard. It's very hard.
Right.
Because, like you said, there's missing
Right, exactly.
I don't know it all off the top of my head anymore, but I'm sure you've done the same homework that I've done.
Trust me.
You have on VHS or
Was it?
VHS?
I don't know how many are in VHS. It's like not all of them, I can tell you.
No, it's not. I mean, came from TV and stuff.
Yeah. There was none, like the only ones that was made for VHS was the 2 Hokum Hair episodes, but then they aired on TV later.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of list.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, hold on. There's a microphone coming your way. I'm sorry.
Where were you able to watch the one that you're watching on your podcast? Like.
Oh, okay. So, so first the DVDs, you can actually buy them at Walmart for like $25 for the whole series. You can also find them on Amazon. I personally, because I am done with physical media, and I actually bought them all digitally on Amazon, and I think each season is like $5 or something like that. That's how I'm watching it. I still have the DVDs. I bought when Lionsgate first re-released the episodes on DVD. I bought them immediately. So that's how I have my personal collection. But the way I'm watching them now, I would love a streaming service to have this, and I don't know what Viacom needs to do to get it from Fred Wolf Films. I don't know, they have to mow the lawn or something like that. Whatever they need to do, I would love it to be in Paramount Plus or or if they want to put it on Netflix or whatever, Tubi, I don't know, just put it on something just so to give everyone the equal access to it, so that way when I ask people hey, let's watch this episode together, they don't have to be I don't want to pay $2 to watch it. The one thing I do want to talk about it, because I'm going to say this, 2022 is a great year to be a Ninja Turtle fan. It is an excellent year to be a Ninja Turtle fan because first, how many action figure collectors do we have here? How many of you guys have gotten into those NECA figures? I mean, and how many of you guys are going crazy because all your stores, especially Walmart, are low on stock on them and everything? Yeah, I know. It's it's crazy. So NECA's been knocking that out of the park. They've been making figures that I wanted as a kid and everything. Finally, someone made all 4 frogs. I don't know why this was hard for Playmates to do. They're oh no, we just stop at 2 for both series. They're the original series and the 2012 series. They're we just made 2. I'm what about the other 2? Screw him. Rasputin, he's a mad dictator in Russia. He does not get an action figure from us. But so not only we have some awesome action figures, we also have been getting some games, and the first game I actually want to show off is this one. I'm hoping you guys have played it.
Oh yeah, great game. Please play that game. Okay, I would think.
So how many of you guys have actually played this game? It's great. I love the game. I'm going to tell you this right now. I still have not had a chance to do 6-player in person, but 6-player co-op, on opening a Discord chat or something like that, it's just chaos. It is chaos, and I love it so much. And and the thing is if you're a turtle, just assume that you're going to be lost. Trippy games they did this whole thing you press the one of the trigger buttons and you get to highlight which turtle you are. When you're in the middle of fighting, you forget about that button, and it's where am I? And I'm in the corner, just hitting nothing. And especially my friends make fun of me because all my turtles are at max level. They're all at level 10. Casey, April, and Splinter. Casey's 0, and the April and April and Splinter are at 1 or 2 or something like that. And and my friends love April. I'm just they're not turtles. I'm no, I want to play as the turtles. I didn't come to Ninja Turtles to play some human with a microphone. But no, it's an excellent game. I love it so much. And I know the physical release was supposed to come out in August. It's still not out yet, but it's going to come out sometime. But that's not the only Ninja Turtle game we got, because this one came out a few days ago.
Yeah, the Caliban.
Rated T for teen.
No idea how much when this got announced, I really was did someone come into my Christmas wish list and make my dreams come true? I have been loving it, and especially so I have it on the Switch. And on the Switch, you actually can use you actually can get the old style controllers. So I've been using the NES controller and the SNES controllers to play the games. Fortunately, with the Genesis controller, it's you can't map those C buttons. It's really weird. I'm trying to figure out how to do it, because the only way I could, my workaround of it is I put C as the mode shoulder button, and it's really weird how they did the Genesis controller. But so how many of you guys have been playing that game? You getting it soon? Yeah.
I mean, in the mail.
You get it in the mail, yeah. Now, I know it literally just came out. It came out a few days ago. So, and the good news is that the physical version is out with this, because this is Konami. So Konami is hey, we can afford to make physical. Unlike some of the indie developers that did Shredder's Revenge. So not only these two video games came out, we actually had a Netflix movie also come out. And first, how many people in here like Rise of the Ninja Turtles? Okay, good. All right. How many people in here hate it and don't want to see anything about it? Okay, you know what? Okay, good. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys, because I have so many people online be they want to spit in my face every time I say the word Rise. But the Rise of the Ninja Turtles movie came out. It's streaming on Netflix. It was a Nickelodeon Netflix deal that they made before they decided to change CBS All Access to Paramount Plus. So that's why it's on their, not their thing.
Now, without spoilers, is it any good? I've not
Okay,
watched it yet.
I'm going to say this. It is great. I loved it. I mean, Netflix was so nice enough to they gave us access to it a month early, and my wife, who is not a Rise of the Ninja Turtles fan, loved this movie. And this one, I'm gonna say this: even if you don't like the series, or if you didn't catch up with it or never watched it, they really made this accessible for anyone. Basically, if you just know who Ninja Turtles are, you can watch this movie, and they don't they have some references from the show, but they don't go into the radical changes that they actually did. And I thought it was a really good way to do it. And I've always said I felt the show would just be better if they went with this tone than with the as much as I love the joking tone and everything. It's just that ever since you got to the last few episodes where it was oh, we're gonna make it more serious while we have our comedy in there. I thought that was the better way to go, and I think to be honest, I don't want to it's hard for me to go watch those older episodes for me personally. But I still appreciate the show for what it is. Anyone actually watch the movie? Yeah. What did you guys think of it?
It was phenomenal.
I loved it.
Yeah.
The animation is incredible.
The animation is fantastic. The animation, the fight scenes, the fight scenes, and the one thing that surprised me was the very opening. There's blood, and I was like, what?
There's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Towards the end,
Right. And we also have some crane blood in there, which is not red, but still blood. Yeah. So that's all we got for this year. But next year we're still getting some awesome stuff. The big thing that's coming. The big thing that's coming next year. Did I not put it on here? Okay, I think I forgot to put. No, I put it right here. The next thing we are getting a movie next year, which is going to be called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. That is a fairly tiny photo. Okay, sorry about that. It looked better on my computer. Yeah, and then over there, you can it just oozed on that one. But yes, so next year, August 3rd. There you go. August 3rd is going to be. This is going to be released in theaters. It's going to be a brand new CGI movie. We really don't know too much about it, but it is going to be produced by Point Grey Pictures. Anyone know who is in charge of Point Grey Pictures? There you go. Yes, it is Seth. It's Seth Rogen and whatever. I think Goldberg. They're the ones who are producing it. Same people who did Sausage Party and the Sausage Party and This Is the End. I think this is actually their first kids movie that they're producing. But the other good thing is if you guys have seen the movie The Mitchells versus the Machines, that director is actually writing. This is going to be his first movie that he's actually going to be writing. And also, if you guys don't know, that director also co-directed Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, there you go. There's some hope there now. Because everyone, they hear Seth Rogen, then when we actually hear the people who are actually doing the movie, then it's oh yeah, I actually have high hopes for this. So this is going to be coming out. This is going to be coming out in theaters next year. We'll find out more information about it in the months to come. And then just a few days ago, they announced that Nickelodeon is going to make a AAA Ninja Turtle video game, and that Playmates is going to be making figures for that video game. And that's all the information I have for it. Because they literally was right before this convention. I'm what is this? And then so it really looks like 2023 we're going to be off to a nice start. And also after this movie, we're going to be getting direct-to-streaming movies from Paramount Plus that will be almost like what they're doing with the Sonic movie. If you guys don't know, the Sonic movie, they're doing a direct-to-streaming movie of Knuckles and some other I don't think that's the only one right now, but they're going to be doing some things to link to it and just kind of build out that everyone wants to be MCU. Let's be honest, everyone wants to be MCU. Everyone wants to be oh hey, let's make all these things and all connect to each other, so people have to do homework to know what's going on when they see our next movie. To be honest, I think there's going to be some fun stuff, and I really think that'll give some highlights for some of these lesser characters, maybe we can get a movie about Rat King or Roxanne Bebop. Maybe we can get I know the 2012 series had Roxanne Bebop had names, but let's give them their own identities, but that is pretty much everything I have for this panel. But anyone has any questions for the remainder of the time? Yeah, you, the girl I don't know.
Hello. Hi, hello there. Hey, I know this is probably a question you've already gotten, but which turtle is your favorite turtle? No.
Oh no, that's the question that everyone loves to ask me. This is the question that everyone asks, and I dodge the question. Yes. To be honest, I have no favorite turtle because, I think they're all great of what they do and everything, and their personalities is what makes the it's like trying to choose my own child, lady I don't know that has 15 children.
You're wearing purple.
Yeah, I am wearing purple. But I have Raph on the shirt. But I will say the one I relate to the most is Leonardo, because Leonardo is the leader and unofficial oldest one, and I'm an older brother, even though Raph is the oldest one in Rise. Anyone else has? Let's go to this guy with the hat.
What were your thoughts on the movies of the teens they did, the two?
Oh,
Megan Fox movies with the teens?
Which movies? I'm sorry. Oh, the Michael Bay movies. Oh, I'm sorry, the Blind and Doom movies. Okay, those movies. You know what? I didn't hate them. The designs took me a while to get used to them. But I never heard that decade called the teens, by the way. You threw me off. I will say this. So when the first movie came out, and that came out in 2014, and that movie came out a week before Guardians of the Galaxy. I saw that movie. Then I got married. That's the most important thing. I saw that movie, then I got married, because it literally was the same. It was the same weekend as my wedding. And then but then like Guardians came out, and I was like, oh, let me check out Guardians, and I liked Guardians. I thought Guardians was a well-made movie. It was better made movie than that movie. But I went to theaters more for Ninja Turtles because I had more fun watching that one. The plot sucks. I mean, the plot is like, I mean, it really was like, hey, let's put a cartoon plot and let's put the plot of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man in there, and there you go. Like, you guys like, I want to be rich. I'm like, dude, you're already rich. Like, I think you succeeded. What else do you need to do? And you can definitely tell, like, the cracks in there, like, where, like, oh, this guy's Shredder. No, he's not Shredder anymore. Like, you know, it's like, yeah. Is there any other questions? Yeah, oh, yeah, let's go over here with Leonardo, because you have blue hair.
What's your favorite version of the Ninja Turtles?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. That is a great question. I'm gonna say my favorite is actually the 2003 cartoon, and the reason why, because I love the original cartoon. If it wasn't the original cartoon, I wouldn't be in this hero. But the 2003, what it did was it introduced me to the comics because I was like, why is this show so much like the movie? Then I went and like saw the comics and everything. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And that's what got me into this whole, like, let me look at all this stuff. Let me find out these names and that kind of stuff. Let me find out these people. That was like my jumping off point of like, I wouldn't be up here without that show. So.
Yeah, 2003 has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. Time for one more question. Yes.
What are your thoughts on the 2007 movie?
Oh, I love that movie. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh gosh. Unfortunately, Amaji is not around anymore. But they made that movie and they made Astro Boy, both really well animated movies. And then like you can go online, you can find like a test footage they tried to do for a Zelda movie. It looks like just excellent. What I love about Ninja Turtles the most is I love the Brotherhood. Brotherhood's like what got me in there, and that movie just stuck. That was the theme for that movie was Brotherhood, and they did it so well. And like even though like the monsters were kind of like but still just the animation, and it has like one of the best fight scenes with Leo and Raph. Like oh my gosh, like that rain that comes in there. I don't think I've seen anything that's beautifully animated as that one ever. I mean, and that's why I'm like so sad. By the way, Nolan North did the voice of Raph. So if you want to, he's in this convention. If you want to get his autograph.
I meant to bring my DVD of 2007, but I left it at home.
Oh no, yeah. He saw my DVD and he was like telling me how much he loved it doing that movie. Yeah. So that is all of my time. I really want to thank you guys for coming out here. You guys have been excellent. Thank you for the energy. Thank you. Thank you for being Ninja Turtles fans, and hopefully we'll come back and see each other next year.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.